Hey guys, what's up? It's Domi. Welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, today's video is going to be another makeup related video. Today we are going to be tackling decluttering my eyeshadow palettes. Store them in 3 different ways. So I have a wire basket with all of my larger palettes. I have an acrylic organizer with just a bunch of miscellaneous palettes. They're mostly all of my longer rectangle palettes and then some round palettes. And then over here in acrylic mail sorters, I've got all of my more like little flat, square, and rectangle palettes. So like a lot of Colourpop and that kind of thing. So just as a disclaimer before we get into the declutter, I'm probably not going to be super ruthless with this just because I've already decluttered my palettes about 2 or 3 times, and I've already decluttered about 50%. So I still have quite a few, but I'm pretty happy with where my collection is now. But I definitely could stand to still get rid of some. So we're definitely going to be getting rid of some, but it's not going to be like a ruthless cutthroat, everything's going kind of thing. The first palette that I have here is the Pat McGrath Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition palette, and this is so beautiful. Like, it's so pretty. I'm never getting rid of this. First of all, it was hella expensive and some of the best I've ever used, so I'm definitely gonna keep that. And then I've got the Urban Decay Elements palette, which, oh my god, I love this packaging. It's so pretty. Like the UD, I can't tell if that's picking up on camera, but it's got like gold leafing, and it's just so pretty. I can't handle it. And just the rest of the packaging is really beautiful as well. So this is what this looks like. I actually got this for Christmas from my best friends, and I haven't really gotten a chance to play with it yet. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this because I have swatched it a little bit and it's beautiful. I just haven't actually used it yet. So yeah, I'm going to be holding on to that. The next palette is the Pure Creator palette. And this is one of my favorite neutral palettes. Like, it's just so beautiful and the shadows blend beautifully. It's just perfection, and I've never heard anyone else talk about it. But this is one of my holy grails, so I am going to be keeping that. And then this is the Urban Decay, what is this? The Heavy Metals palette, I want to say. And this is dope packaging. Now, I have tiny hands, so it's kind of hard for me to work with, but it's really cool packaging, beautiful colors. I admittedly don't use this too often, so I am going to hold on to this, but I am going to put it in a kind of use or lose pile. So if I don't use it within the next couple months substantially, then I will go ahead and get rid of that. And then let's talk about the Kat Von D Satan Center palette, I guess. I actually don't want to talk about this at all. I don't want to talk about Kat Von D, so absolutely destashing that. I don't want anything Kat Von D anywhere near my collection. Know 100% for sure that I have no room in my collection for anything Kat Von D. So that's that on that. And then I've got the Pat McGrath Mothership palette, which, holy fuck. This is one of my prized possessions. It's just stunning. The shadows are just fucking gorgeous. And just everything about this is just so luxe. Now, I didn't pay for this. I used a gift card, so I don't feel that bad about having it, but this is another thing that I will never part with. It's just fucking stunning. The last of my large palettes is the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette, and I do like this. I think the quality is nice, and I like the colors in this. So I don't use it too often, but I am going to keep that for now. So that is everything for my larger palettes. So I'm going to just pop those back. I guess we'll do my miscellaneous ones next, just because I know I'm going to have a hard time with the Colourpop ones. So this acrylic organizer is the same one from my sticker collection, if you've seen that. It's from Amazon, and I will try to link it below if I can find it. And it just has 4 compartments. I'm not sure, that's probably not even gonna pick up on camera, but it's got 4 compartments, so you can have it flat on its back like that, or you can turn it vertically and stack your palettes vertically if you choose to do that. So in the first little section, I've got my round palettes. So this is the Tarte Sizzle palette. This packaging is so tacky, but I fucking love it. You guys know that I'm a glitter slut, for lack of a better term. But these are just really pretty purple toned neutrals, perfect for every day. So I'm gonna keep that. And then this packaging is like my favorite thing on planet Earth, and I'm not even a pinky purple girl, but holy fuck. Like, imagine this in like a blue. I would fucking die. So this is the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust palette by Tarte. These are just, again, really, really beautiful colors, great for every day. I feel like I've been blinding you this entire video, I'm sorry. But these are really beautiful colors. Again, perfect for every day. This is one of my go-to palettes. I absolutely love it. So keeping both of these. Next up, I've got the Becca Eyelights palette, which again is just a really nice, easy breezy, everyday neutral palette. I know that a lot of people didn't like this, but for my skin tone, these colors are perfect, like light, easy breezy, everyday colors. Every color works so well together, and it's super easy to use. So I really do like it, and I'm gonna hold on to that. And then the next 2 palettes are the Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop and Electro Pop palettes. So this is the Electro Pop. It's got really beautiful, like bold jewel tone colors. And then the Nude Pop. This is a relatively new palette to my collection, and it is already one of my all-time favorite palettes. I use it virtually anytime I do my makeup now. The shadows are just gorgeous and so easy to work with. So I'm absolutely going to be holding on to this. And then I love the Electro Pop palette too. I don't have anything else in my collection quite like it. So I'm going to be holding on to those. So far, we've gotten rid of 1 palette, so we're doing real well here. Next up is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, which, again, one of my favorite palettes, so I'm gonna keep that. Then the next one is another one that I got from my best friends for Christmas, which is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette, which is just some really, really nice warm tone colors. Again, as soon as I got this, I just fell in love with it, and it became a staple in my collection instantaneously. So I'm going to keep that. And then we've got some Anastasia palettes. This is the Prism palette, which I really like. I don't use it super often, but I do like it. And I think it's a fairly unique palette, so I'm gonna hold on to that. And then we've got the Soft Glam palette, which is just a great everyday palette again. These are the only 2 ABH palettes I have. I really, really want that new Riviera palette. So I think I'm going to cash in a gift card at work to get that. But yeah, I really, really love the formula on those. Then next up, I have a Dominique Cosmetics palette, the Latte palette. First of all, I love this packaging. I keep it in the sleeve just because this is white packaging and it's super easy to stain. So yeah, I adore this palette. I think it's beautiful. I love the formula, and Anyone who has an even mildly unique name knows how hard it is to find anything with your name on it ever. So I'm not even gonna lie, that's like half the reason I'm keeping this palette, but I really do love it. Next up we have the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and this is a gorgeous palette, and I do like the formula. However, I rarely use it just because of how annoying Cosmo is. It's like a loose glitter and it's just not packed in at all, and it's just super messy and just gets everywhere every time I try to use the palette. So that kind of turns me off from using it at all. So I am going to keep this for now, just to see if I use it over the coming months, but I'm going to put it in that same use it or lose it palette as the Heavy Metals palette, and I'll get rid of it in a couple months if I don't use it by then. So next up we've got the NYX Avant Pop palette, which is a really cool palette. We've got a lot of colors that I don't have anywhere else in my collection. We've got this dope bright yellow, this really beautiful turquoisey blue, the Set It Off midnight blue, and then just some cool tone colors. I got this in Toronto and I haven't really gotten a chance to play with it yet, so I am going to hold on to that. We've got the Sephora Pro Pigment palette, and it's beautiful. I just have never used it. I've had it for about a year and I've swatched it maybe once, so I am going to pass that on. Then we've got the Bad Habit Aphrodite palette, which is again beautiful, but I just don't love the formula and I never use it, so we're gonna get rid of that. Then I've got the Bad Habit Retro Love palette, which I love the colors. I like it in theory. I just hate the formula and I cannot get it to work for me. So we're gonna pass that on. Then we've got the Bad Habit Artistry palette, which I love this packaging. It's fucking dope. And I do like these colors, but it's just not worth keeping for me. I mean, I have a million neutrals, as you can see, so I am going to get rid of that. And then the last of the Miscellaneous palettes is the Naked Urban Decay Smoky. I've gotten rid of all of my other Urban Decay palettes at this point, except for this one, and I keep holding on to it just because I don't have a lot of cool tone colors, but I think that it's time to let this go. But this packaging is so fucking cool though. Do I keep it? I kind of want to keep it, but no. Okay, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. Okay, so I'm gonna put these back and we will move on to my last little section. All right, so the last little section of palettes that I've got is all of my like Colourpop and like smaller, flatter palettes. And these have already gone through a massive declutter. I've gotten rid of probably about half of my Colourpop palettes already, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to get rid of today, but we're going to try to make some progress. And then I just have all of these stored in these little acrylic letter organizers from Amazon that have, let's see, 5 sections. And I think they were relatively inexpensive, so I will try to find them and link them down below if I can. The first palette is the Tartelette In Bloom palette, which is just a beautiful, easy, everyday palette. This is the palette that I travel with most often. It's just perfect and it's one of my holy grails, so I'm gonna keep that. Then we've got the Tartelette Toasted palette, which again is one of my holy grails, so I am going to hold on to that. Then we've got the Colourpop Dream Street palette, which first of all, this packaging is gorgeous, and then I just love all of the colors in this. I think this is probably my favorite Colourpop palette. So I'm gonna hold on to that. Then I've got the Colourpop I Think I Love You palette, which is beautiful. I just love Colourpop shadows so much. I love this gold. It's so good. So I'm gonna hold on to that. Then we've got the Colourpop Double Entendre palette, which just has some shimmers, but it's mostly just really nice neutral mattes. So I'm gonna hold on to that. And then the next palette is the Colourpop Yes Please palette, which is just really beautiful, bright, fiery sunset warm tones. As you can see, this is a very, very well loved palette for me, so I'm definitely gonna keep that one. The Colourpop Disney Designer Collection Princess palette, which this was a Christmas present to myself, and I have swatched it and it's beautiful. I have not gotten a chance to use it yet, but it's gorgeous, so I'm definitely going to keep that. Thingamabob is gorgeous. Ugh, I can't handle it. It's beautiful. So I'm going to keep that. Last palette in this organizer is the Colourpop My Little Pony palette, and this is a really fun and interesting palette, so I am going to keep it for that reason for the time being. I just really like these colors and I like them together, and I don't have anything like this in my collection, so I am going to keep this for the time being. It is going to go in that use it or lose it pile, and I will declutter it if I don't use it more within the coming months, but for now this is one that I'm definitely going to hold on to. So that brings us to the last little section. So the first palette in this one is the Sigma Creme de Couture palette, and it's just these really beautiful buttery pastels, and I love this so much. I think these colors are so pretty, and I have tried so hard to get this to work for me, and I just can't, so it breaks my heart, but I am going to let that one go. All I See Is Magic palette, which is another of my favorite Colourpop palettes. I think this packaging is just so beautiful, and I love this whole color story. But again, it's not one that I use super often, so I am going to keep it, but it is going to go in the use or lose pile. Jaclyn Hill Morphe Vault palette. I don't know which one this is. The Armed and Gorgeous palette. I love this packaging. I love the mixed metals, and I really like this color scheme. However, I'm not super impressed by the formula, and it's not really a palette that I've ever had much success with. So it's a perfectly fine palette, it's just not worth keeping in my book. So I am going to get rid of that. And then I've got my two Colourpop singles palettes, and just a couple minutes ago my camera overheated, so I did take that opportunity to go ahead and switch all the pans around because I knew that I didn't want to keep both of them. So I consolidated all of the ones that I want to keep into this palette. So I think we've got a good mix of mattes and color, and then like the light shimmery neutrals. So I'm really happy with this palette. And then this is the one that I am going to pass on. It's just tons and tons of shimmers, and I've got tons of other colors exactly like this. So I'm going to pass that one on. And then I've got the Alamar Cosmetics Volume 1 palette, and this is so beautiful. It swatches beautifully. Just look at that. That's so beautiful. And I love the formula. I got it in what was it? Was it a BoxyCharm? I guess a BoxyCharm. I can't really remember. But I've never used it. It swatches beautifully. I love the colors. But it's been like a year and I haven't touched it. So I am going to let that one go. And then the last palette that I have is the Bad Habit Solstice palette, which again is those really nice, fiery, sunsetty, warm tones, but it's very similar to the Colourpop Yes Please palette, and I vastly prefer that palette. So I am going to let this one go. Alright, so I have everything resorted, and this is the declutter pile. I'm getting rid of 11 palettes, and then I believe I'm keeping 28. So, you know, not bad, I don't think, considering I've already decluttered my palettes like 2 or 3 times. So I think I did pretty decently. So this is what this basket looks like now. Really the only thing that I lost from this was the Kat Von D palette that we're not going to talk about. So these are my large palettes. And then that brings us to the miscellaneous palettes. This is probably where I got rid of the most. I got rid of everything that was in the last section. So I just moved the middle 2 sections back so that way I could put my 2 Tartelette palettes in this little second slot. And by moving my Tartelette palettes to this organizer, it allowed me to eliminate a whole one of these acrylic organizers. So these are all of my miscellaneous palettes, and then the only thing that I have left in this little envelope organizer is all of my Colourpop palettes. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said in my lipstick or lip product rather declutter, I'm probably going to do a whole series of this with my entire collection. So just for filming purposes, it's easier for me to film at my planner desk rather than in my room. So that's why I'm doing all of my like makeup declutter stuff down here. And then once I have my makeup set up, fully decluttered and organized, I will take you upstairs and show you what the final product looks like in a future video. So stay tuned for that. And my planner videos will be back. I've got a haul coming shortly. So that's that. Oh, also, if you have not seen my lipstick declutter, that will be linked down below. And yeah, that's it, I guess. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye, guys. What was that wave? That was so ugly. Okay, bye, guys.